Peace and assalamu alaikum. This is your brother Bilal, back at you again, black Muslim in America. Just coming back at you to drop something quick on your mind, something I was just thinking about. I'm sure you probably heard it, but I just wanted to give it out to y'all as well. But, some things that were on my mind was basically how you treat Allah is how you should treat your brothers and sisters and spouse and others around you. And I know, off top hearing that, off Tizo hearing that, it sounds like it sounds shirky, quote unquote. Is this dude talking shirk? But let me clarify. What I mean by that, I would have to bring up the hadith of the Prophet. And I think this is a hadith Qudsi, because it's in the 40 hadith Qudsi section. And this hadith was related on the authority of Abu Huraira, and it was related by Muslim. So it is an authentic hadith. And the Prophet said that Allah will say on the day of resurrection, "O son of Adam, I fell ill and you visited me not." He will say, "O Lord, and how should I visit you when you are the Lord of the worlds?" Allah will say, "Did you not know that my servant so-and-so had fallen ill and you visited him not? Did you know that had you visited him, you would have found me with him?" Allah says again, "O son of Adam, I asked you for food and you fed me not." The man will say, "O Lord, and how should I feed you when you are the Lord of the worlds?" Allah will say, "Did you not know that my servant such and such asked you for food and you fed him not? Did you not know that had you fed him, you would surely have found that," and it has in parentheses, "you would surely have found the reward for doing so with me? O son of Adam, I asked you to give me to drink, and you gave me not to drink." The man will say, "O Lord, how should I give you to drink when you are the Lord of the worlds?" Allah will say, my servant such and such asked you to give him to drink, and you gave him not to drink. Had you given him some drink, you would have surely found that with me." And this, like I said, was related by Muslim. So this is what I'm referring to. How you treat Allah is how you should treat people. How you treat people can reflect on how you treat Allah as well. I'm not saying that man is on the level of Allah. No, I'm giving you a reference point. And this hadith should clarify it. Many times I'll be having a discussion with my wife and I'll say something like, you have to do good to others for them to continuously do good back to you. And then I'll say an example like, it's like you saying to Allah, "I'm not going to pray, fast, or give zakah, but you better give me paradise." No, just like you have to give and do good deeds for the sake of Allah and Allah will repay you, you have to do good to others so that others will repay you, so that others will reciprocate. And sometimes my wife would say, "Oh, you're trying to put others on the level of Allah." And so now I had to always clarify, because I'm not trying to put others on the level of Allah. So I'll make sure I always say Allah is beyond compare, and Allah is beyond compare. The point I want to make to her and to you all is that how you treat Allah is how you should treat others. And what I mean by that is like this hadith Qudsi, which I mentioned. Because if you treat Allah with respect, then you're going to treat others with respect. I'll give you another example. In another authentic hadith that was related in Abu Dawood, and it was narrated by Abu Huraira, he said that the Prophet said, he who does not thank the people is not thankful to Allah. So if you're a thankful person to Allah, then that's going to naturally translate to being thankful to people, because you have cultivated that within yourself. And this is what I mean again when I say how you treat Allah is how you should treat others. But we're talking about on a human level, so let's not get it twisted. Allah has 99 names and attributes. And this is just another way to look at it. Allah has 99 names and attributes. All of these attributes should be in you and given out on a human level. So Allah is the most merciful. Now, you can never be the most merciful, but you want to be merciful. You should be merciful to others. Allah is the patient one. You can never be as patient as Allah is. Like in the hadith that the Prophet said in Sahih Bukhari, which is another authentic hadith. Abu Musa reported the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "No one or nothing is more patient with harmful words he hears than Allah. Verily, they ascribe children to Allah, yet Allah gives them wellness and provision." So again, Allah is patient. Allah is merciful. Now, you can never be on the level that Allah is because we are beyond compare to him. But you should take these actions, you should take these type of things and apply them to other humans on the human level. So Allah is patient, you be patient with others. Allah is grateful or appreciative of the good deeds that you do for his sake, and he rewards those good deeds that you do for his sake. So therefore, when you're dealing with other people and they do things for you for the sake of Allah, or they do good things for you, then you should be grateful for them. You should be appreciative of them, and you should be able to reciprocate those things. This is what I mean by how you treat Allah is how you should treat others, but on a human level. A lot of people are very ungrateful, and this is what Allah mentions in the Quran in Surah 22 verse 66. Allah tells us in this verse that he says, "And he is the one who gave you life, then he causes you to die, and then will again give you life. But indeed, mankind is ungrateful." So Allah is telling you in this verse that he gave you life, and then he can cause you to die, and then he's going to give you life again. He gave you life and everything in it. But mankind is ever ungrateful. All of these things that Allah gave to you in this life, but you're still standing ungrateful. Certain people have issues where the more you do for them, the more they are angry towards you, or the more they despise you and have animosity towards you. It's very weird. You would think they would be more grateful, but these are people who have issues with ungratefulness within themselves. Or there are others who everything you do for them is not really appreciated, or they constantly downplay it. You give them some money for gas. You give them $5 for gas. You throw them $5 for gas because they need it. And they're like, hey man, I need $5 for gas. I can't get home. And then the next day, you talking to them and they're like, "Oh man, that $5 wasn't nothing. You see, I gave it right back, man. That $5 wasn't nothing, man." They don't even say thank you to you. Now, you did it for the sake of Allah. You don't need to thank you. But the fact they're exposing their self, they didn't even say thank you to you, but they're coming to you and telling you, "Oh man, that $5 wasn't nothing, man." Like you didn't even do nothing for them. So why did you ask then? If you didn't need it and it wasn't nothing, then why did you ask? These are people who have issues with being appreciative, with issues of being grateful. People like this are usually those who don't like to reciprocate. They are people who usually like to take advantage of others. And they know the more you do for them, or good you do for them, they will have to return it in some way, and they don't want to have to return it. They would rather continue to receive, take, and not have to return anything. That's the type of life they would rather live. And this is why, like again, I say, the way you treat Allah is how you treat others. And what did Allah just say in the verse? He gave you life and everything in it, and you still are ungrateful. Mankind is still ungrateful. And Allah also mentions in chapter 36 verse 77, Allah says in this verse, does humanity not consider that we created him from a mere sperm drop? Then once he's born into the world and he grows to full strength, then he becomes a clear adversary to Allah. Like again I said, Allah gave you life. 9 months in your mother's womb. Some of us didn't even get to 9 months, and we were born premature, and Allah kept us alive to reach full strength. We may have some issues here and there, but Allah kept us alive to live in this world and get benefits from it. And then we stand up as opposition to Allah and say we're ungrateful to Allah. That is extreme ungratefulness. That's what that is. He created you from a sperm drop, put you in the egg, and you came out of your mother. And after all of that, this human stands as an opponent to Allah. As I said, the Quran is the best book of psychology in my opinion. Most people are ungrateful. This is what Allah tells you in the Quran. Allah gave them all of that. The blessing of life in and of itself is tremendous. Then when you try to enumerate all the blessings of Allah, you can't do that. Allah tells you that also in the Quran as well. If you tried to count the blessings of Allah, you would never be able to do it. So an ungrateful person will say, like these fools on Twitter say, yeah, Allah blessed me with these things, but where was he at during slavery? Allah was there during slavery, and Allah sent you down the information of what to do when you have white supremacy slavery, because that was the type of slavery that was haram and sinful. And Allah told you how to fight back against that. Allah told you what to do in the Quran. Even before that, you have your natural instinct of what to do that Allah has put into you. So Allah was there. They only say that because they don't want to return to Allah what Allah is owed. And that is worshiping Him alone and submitting to Him. That is why they say that. Just like when a person doesn't want to be grateful to you and appreciative to you of the things you do for them, it's because they don't want to have to reciprocate. They know it's going to take energy and work. If you're a lot of times in relationships, even it has to do with male and female. Some people have certain psychological issues that they have gone through in their lives, traumas in their lives, that they have a problem with somebody continuously doing good to them. They can't handle it. And one of the reasons is because, like I said, they know that they have to reciprocate. And they've never done that. They've always been a selfish person. So they've never had to reciprocate for anyone. It was just always, I get what I want, and if I feel like giving you something in return, I will. But if I don't, you're going to be fine with it. So this is a mentality they've cultivated, which is a mentality of ungratefulness. This is not good. How you treat Allah is how you treat others. If you've had this issue in your life and then you finally become a Muslim, or you want to perfect your character in some way, that's how you have to look at it. That's one of the ways that will help you benefit in your life. Because you should say to yourself, well, if I'm going to be thankful to Allah and Allah created all of His creatures, then I should be thankful to His creatures as well who do good to me. Simple mathematics. But that's all I wanted to say, my people. Thank you for tuning in. I hope everyone's week will go well. And until next time, peace and assalamu alaikum.